Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ladies and gentlemen, in this time, I would like my presentation is uh, about moderation in the application of Shariah in Indonesia. It is case how in Muslim nation applying and implement Sharia in his country. Now my presentation is case in Indonesia, Indonesian countries. Yeah. Uh, there are three approaches used for former foreign colonial countries in Muslim majority nations in implementing Sharia. In this regard, there are three approaches. The first is transplantation, an approach of adopting and applying Sharia derived directly from the Quran, Hadith, and specific schools of fiqh as national law and legislation. The second is transformation, is a gradual process of integrating Sharia and its values into national law in accordance with the prevailing socio-cultural and political conditions. The second is synchronization, is a method of implementation that involves reviewing and creating laws that are not directly contradictory to Sharia. Multidisciplinary approach, in the case of Indonesia, the first is historical aspect. Pre-colonial Dutch period, the existence of Islamic kingdoms in sultanates in Indonesia, which tend to apply Sharia. In colonial period, Sharia was marginalized through snowgrowing reception in complex theory. Previously, Islamic law excited in Indonesia as described by Vandenberg with the receptio a contrario theory, which was later reinforced by Hazairin with the receptio exit theory. The Dutch left Sharia in a weak position, recognizing only family law, al-ahwal as-sahsiyah, and weak religious court system. The older period in 1945 to 1967 and the new order period 1967 to 1998 and the Reformation period. It is a different method to employ to applying Sharia in the political order. And the second is social cultural aspect. The pluralistic structure of Indonesian society in terms of religion and ethnicity. Although the majority is Muslim, within Islam there are two major groups, the Abangan and Priai. This by this termination is by Gertz. The Abangan are larger in number than the Priai. Christians and other religions gained
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Hamdan. So I think Yeah, I think there is some issue in the connections, but the Zoom is still here. So let us wait for a while. Yeah. Dr. Hamdan, are you able to hear my sound?
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
Thanks.
okay, sir. Yeah.
And the second political aspect, the role of political parties and democratization in Indonesia provides a broad space of public participation and political policy. The old order and new order periods didn't provide broad room for the application of Sharia in national law in Indonesia. This is different from the Reformation period. The establishment of political parties and the strength of civil society provide extensive space for application of Sharia in Indonesia. And how the transformation of Sharia in Indonesia to national is national law. What has happened in Indonesia? An interesting process, the application of Islamic Sharia, as each period faced different challenges. In the colonial era, Sharia held a very marginal position, being recognized only in specific aspects with very weak enforcement through the acknowledgement of Sharia courts, the colonial authority which had very limited powers. From the beginning of independence until 1959, there were attempts to add transplantation. Sorry. Yeah. After the Reformation period and political change in Indonesia, with the acceptance of democracy, a massive transformation of Sharia occurred in Indonesia. This was facilitated through the role of democratic institution, namely the people's representatives bodies, institution, and democratically elected government. In this era, almost all aspects of Sharia have been incorporated into Indonesian national law through the transformation process of forming legislation both in the field of al-ahwalul asasiyah, and the field of muamalah, civil law. Meanwhile, in the field of jinayah, criminal law, the transformation has primarily involved incorporating universal values from Sharia into national law. However, in the field of muamalah, legal dualism based on voluntary choice is still maintained. During this era, the role of religious court has also been expanded, including the authority to adjudicate cases in the field of civil law and muamalah. The conclusion, the choice of implement Islamic Sharia through transplantation, transformation, and synchronization must be made with multidisciplinary considerations, including historical, sociocultural, and political aspects. The combination of these three approaches determines how Indonesia applies Sharia within its national legal system, ultimately choosing a path of compromise and moderation, namely through gradual transformation. This provides significant space for the application of Sharia in a way that is acceptable within Indonesian pluralistic society. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Dr. Hamdan, for your keynote speech. So once again, we would like to inform to all of the audience if you have questions that you are going to ask to Dr. Hamdan Zoelva. So feel free to type it in the Zoom chat box, or even you can raise the hands. You can raise the hands so we can have also a live interaction, a question and answer with Dr. Hamdan Zoelva. All right. Mr. Abdul Rahman, yes, please welcome, sir, if you want to ask the questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum to Allah wabarakatuh. Yeah, my name is Abdul Rahman Akambi Abdul Ghani. I'm a Nigerian, actually, but a current master student at Universitas Islam International Indonesia in Depok. So, though I'm not an Indonesian, but this is regarding my intellectual curiosity and perhaps some of the courses I've learned in the class here, especially as it relates to Islamic law in Indonesia. Yeah, Pa, I want to. My question is about some of the information we are hearing from Aceh that Aceh has a separate implementation of Islamic law. So I want to know how does Indonesia as a nation manage this kind of diversity of implementation of Sharia, whereby the state, the Sharia framework in Aceh is different from what is obtainable in the national state. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, Dr. Hamdan? Yeah.
Yeah, Aceh is a special province. Provincial district is a special district in Indonesia, applying Sharia, but I think it is also limited Sharia, not all aspect of Sharia in criminal law or jinayah. So it is very, very limited because in Aceh, criminal law is applying national criminal law, but the special aspect of Sharia applying in Aceh. So I think it is special case in Indonesia that Aceh can implement it, can implementing Sharia law, but it is also is very, very limited. So, but in a national level, in muamalah, in muamalah aspect, business law and private law, it is all can implementing Sharia law, but it's dependent the person because it is depend of because dualism of a law. One case, a Muslim can choose, private Islamic law, or can choose also that's a national Islamic law. There is two kind of law in aspect of private law or muamalah. Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for the questions, Mr. Abdul Rahman. And then yet I think we can address one more questions, Doctor, if you don't mind. So the
Yes.
questions is coming from Dr. Khalid Hussain. So he is asking first regarding the about emphasizement the moderation as a guiding principle in the application of Sharia. From constitutional perspective, how do we define the legal limits of moderations so that it doesn't become either excessive restrictions or unchecked expansions of the Sharia norms? Yes, and actually there are one more questions. So perhaps that one first, Doctor? of the limit of the moderation.
Okay. Yes, right. In Indonesian constitutional law, it is not limited to implement the Sharia, but it is depend on how the legislation process is used. Yeah, if all of member of parliament and the president like to implement the Sharia and transport to our national legislation, it is no problem. Yeah. But it is depend on how the legislation process can be used, yeah, to implement it Sharia. The process in the parliament is discussed with the plural members of parliament. So in the aspect of constitutional law, there is no limitation. Yeah, the legislation can implement it Sharia, but once again, it is depends of decision of legislatures in the parliament. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Doctor. And if you still have time, because this is coming from different countries, Doctor, if you wouldn't mind, so we can have one more question from Philippines. Is it okay, Prof?
Oh,
Okay. Okay, so one more
okay, thank you.
question from Aljudi Lukman from the Philippines. So the question is, how does the implementations of Sharia law in Indonesia regional province align with the country's secular national constitutions? And what framework exists to address tension between religious, legal provision, and state law?
Now, once again, in our constitution, it is not limited to implemented Sharia, but it is depend of the level of below the constitution, yeah, in the act, national act, and it is no limitation, the constitution permitted to implement Sharia, but it is depend on the legislation process. If the legislature decide, yeah, to implement the Sharia through the law, it's no problem. So Indonesian constitution is very flexible and can implement it Sharia in the national legislature or national law. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Hamdan Zoelva, for sharing your expertise, your insight, and also your experience in the ICISMA as the keynote speaker. So now is the time for the appreciation moments. So as the appreciation and as the recognition from the ICISMA organizing committee, we would like to give this special token of appreciations to our keynote speaker, Dr. Hamdan Zoelva, SHMH. So in this occasion, we would like to welcome Dr. Heri Sukamto as the Vice Rector 2 from Universitas Islam Asy-Syafi'iyah to give this token of appreciation. So please welcome Dr. Heri Sukamto. Yes, Dr. Heri Sukamto.
Maaf ini diganti sama Efrida nih.
Okay, so please welcome Dr. Efrida to give this token of appreciations to our keynote speaker. Please welcome Ibu.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bu Santi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pak Hamdan, it's nice to meet you again, although this is online. First of all, our deep condolences for your late father. Belasungkawa terhadap kepergian ayahanda. Kami mengucapkan belasungkawa yang mendalam. Everyone, Pak Hamdan Zoelva is also our valuable lecturer in Faculty of Law, Universitas Islam Asy-Syafi'iyah. So if you have a question for her, let us know ya through the Faculty of Law Universitas Islam Afsapia. On behalf of Committee of ICISMA, Pak Hamdan, I would like to sincerely thank you for the meaningful and thoughtful presentations. Yes, we have a challenge ya Pak ya, nanti how to respond to the challenge it is our duty. But so please accept this token as a symbol of our deep appreciation for your contribution. Please receive Pak Hamdan. Thank you so much, and may Allah bless you always. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.